Sometimes the biggest stories, the actual blueprints for these giant digital empires, they're not hiding in some big expose. Nope. They're tucked away in the most boring, overlooked corners of the internet. And today, we're going to find one of those maps. It all starts with a message I guarantee you've seen before. Ah, yes, this old chestnut. You're just scrolling, clicking away, trying to get something done, and then bam, you hit this invisible wall. It's super frustrating, right? And it just feels like a glitch. But what if it's not a glitch at all? I mean, what if this little pop up isn't an error? What if it's a border crossing? A tiny little reminder that you're just a visitor in this massive, constructed world. A world with its own rules and, well, its own rulers. And that's the real question we're going to dig into. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with that wall everyone hits. Then we'll peek behind the curtain to find this hidden blueprint. We'll use that to map out Meta's entire universe, see how it stacks up against Google's own galaxy, and then we'll finish with this really strange little clue about the year 2026. Okay, so first step, that wall. That message isn't really about you going too fast. Think of it more like the system's immune response. It's a little jolt to let you know you've just bumped up against the invisible fences of this digital world. These fences are the first clue that we're not just using a simple tool, we're inside a huge, carefully controlled ecosystem. So where do you find the master plan for this whole ecosystem? Well, funny enough, it's hiding in plain sight, in the one place on the page that literally everyone ignores. The footer. Yeah, that dense block of tiny links way at the bottom. We all scroll right past it. It looks like boring legal stuff, but trust me, it's not. It's the treasure map. Just look at this list from Facebook's page. This isn't even all of it. Messenger, MetaQuest, Instagram, Threads, MetaPay. It just looks like a random jumble of services and links, right? But it's not random. Not at all. What you're looking at is the org chart for an entire digital empire, just laid out for anyone who bothers to look. Okay, so let's actually try to make sense of this chaos. We can take this seemingly endless list and sort it into 5 clear, really powerful territories. Think of them as the 5 major continents that make up the Meta Empire. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of this for a second. We've got our social networks, messaging apps, video platforms, but then there's actual physical hardware like VR headsets and smart glasses. There are payment systems and, of course, AI. It's a whole ecosystem, really, designed to touch every single part of your digital life. Now, let's break it down properly. So you can really see how they build this thing piece by piece. First, you have the social tools. These are the big public squares like Facebook and Instagram. Then they build bridges into our physical world with hardware like the MetaQuest. They create their own internal economy with a financial arm, MetaPay. Then they're building for what's next with huge investments in Meta AI. And holding it all together? That's the corporate scaffolding, the laws of the land, your privacy policies, terms of service, all that stuff. It's a completely self-contained universe. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's just a meta thing. But it's really not. Let's hop over to a totally different neighborhood on the internet, YouTube. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of any YouTube page, you'll find another footer, another one of these maps. And guess what? It follows the exact same blueprint. Just look at this side by side. It's almost spooky how similar they are. Each one has its core platform. They both have the corporate links, like About and Careers. They both have a clear way they make money, their monetization arm. They both have their legal framework, the terms and privacy stuff. And they both have sections for developers and creators, the people who actually build and populate their worlds. It's the same structure, like a parallel universe. But hold on, there's one more detail. One tiny, very peculiar thing that both of these maps share. It's a detail we've all scrolled past 100 times, and it doesn't point to the past or even the present. It points directly to the future. Right there, at the very, very bottom of the page in the copyright notice, both Meta and Google's websites don't say this year. They both say 2026, a copyright for a year that hasn't even happened yet. Let that sink in for a second. 2026. These massive companies, whose entire business model is built on what's happening right now, have legally stamped their websites with a date from the future. The question is pretty obvious, isn't it? Why? So what does it mean when the people who build our digital world plant their flag 2 years into the future? Now, the boring answer is that it's a common legal thing, so they don't have to update it every January 1st. But it's also a statement, isn't it? A quiet signal of just how far ahead these guys are planning. The map we found doesn't just show us where these empires are today, it kind of hints at how long they're planning to rule. And it makes you wonder, what else is hiding in plain sight?